I'm cooking the last cabbage out of my fall garden, so I wanted to make a little cornbread to go with it, and I thought maybe you might like to have my recipe for cornbread. The original recipe came out of a Betty Crocker cookbook that somebody gave me for graduation many years ago, and they used plain flour, and I used self-rising. So this is my adaptation of that recipe. So what I use is a cup and a half of Martha White self-rising cornmeal mix, and I use half a cup of self-rising flour. And I use 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I forgot to bring the sugar over. So let me grab that right quick. And I use 1 tablespoon of sugar, granulated sugar. And I use 1 egg. And I've been using some of the liquid eggs lately. They work out pretty well. I like them. I never thought I would. So 3 tablespoons of the liquid eggs makes 1 egg. Alright, so then I've got a cup and a half of milk, sweet milk. This is whole milk. The recipe, the original recipe, called for buttermilk. But I use whatever I have. If I have buttermilk, I use buttermilk. But I like to at least use whole milk. Now, I normally don't measure the liquid. I just add the liquid until I get the right texture. I actually think this is maybe just a little bit too much, but you want to be sure you have enough liquid, because if not, your cornbread will be dry. And we don't like dry cornbread. Now, right before I started, I set the oven temperature on to 450 degrees. And I'm using an iron skillet, 10.5-inch iron skillet, which I put into about 2 tablespoons, a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons of canola oil, which is what I normally use. But if you have bacon drippings, that would be fantastic too. So you stir all this together. Anyway, I set my skillet with the oil in it into the oven, because you have to have your skillet hot before you put the cornbread into it. That way you get a real nice crust on your cornbread, and that's what we're looking for here. Now, there are many different recipes for cornbread. But this is Southern cornbread. I've been using this recipe for at least 50 years. And everybody seems to like my cornbread. At least they tell me they do. And I've got my iron skillet getting hot in the oven with about 2 tablespoons of oil in it. Whatever kind of oil you have. I've used bacon drippings for many years. I've kind of gotten away from that, because they say it's not as healthy as other oils. But I do not use olive oil on my cornbread. I use olive oil for just about everything else now, because I really like it, even to fry eggs. But with the cornbread, I usually use canola oil. Alright, so it's stirred up well. And I'm just waiting now for the skillet to get hot. Okay, so I've just gotten the skillet out of the oven, and you want it to be hot enough that if you flick a little water onto it, it'll sizzle or dance on top of the bottom of the skillet, because you want that nice brown crust on your cornbread. Okay, so I'm going to pour this batter into my skillet. Stick it into the oven, 450 degrees. You want a hot oven. And it'll take approximately 20 minutes to cook. So in 20 minutes, we'll take a look and see how nice and crusty the bottom is. Okay, so our cornbread is about done. I just checked it. And so I'm going to take it out of the oven very carefully because it is hot. And it does have a nice little brown crust on the top. And let's see if we turn it out and it didn't stick. And so this is what it looks like. It's got a nice dark brown crust on the bottom, and it's going to be really good with the cabbages or any other vegetable or soup or stew that I make. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.